Oh,
Let's get it!
Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yes!
But they are the premier Pacifica show that shines the spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting hurt.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic FICA podcast with your hosts, Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
what's up?
It's a Saturday morning.
It is a Saturday morning. Surprise!
It's an odd show for us. We used to do mornings all the time.
We used,
right?
we used to do
On
Sunday
Saturdays,
morning.
Right.
Sunday
So
morning until
It took a long time to break that habit of saying good morning.
yeah.
It was a lot of shows. So season 9, episode 6 of the FICA podcast. We got an announcement to share. We have a campaign that PBD is embarking upon. We got a bunch of community announcements, and then we're going to chop it up about whatever comes up. That's our show today, Naki. What you got?
What do I got? Yesterday, I went to my nephew, AJ, graduation from the Santa Clara Sheriff's Department. So that was okay. So let me just Northern California. Why is there so much traffic?
Well, there isn't if you go out of cities. If you get out of cities, there's not the traffic, but if there's any urban area, man, California's the worst. I don't know. I live in New York. I get it. New York, the East Coast probably saying it's just as bad, but man, the Bay Area is bad.
Oh my God, so bad. I was headed to San Jose and I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. Well, the graduation was at 1. So I was like, I'll leave at 10. I'm guessing it'll take me 2 hours to get there and then plenty of time to fuck around. No.
That didn't work out?
I left, I'd say 10:15-ish because I was cocky and I was like, oh yeah, I got plenty of time. I had to ride the express lane all the way down to San Jose, and the express lane is like, it's the carpool lane, far left lane on the freeway. After 10 o'clock, it turns into the express lane where you have to have fast track to ride that lane. There was no traffic in that lane, but it was a lot of stop and go because people were weaving in and out. So I rode the express lane all the way down. Had I not ridden, whatever the word is, the express lane, it would have taken me 3.5 hours to get to San Jose from Fairfield. So
how long did it take you?
It took me, I got there around 12:20.
And that's with the express lane.
And that's with the express lane.
Flying past people that are parked.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was you have to check in. There's tickets or your name gets put on a list. And so Mo wanted to go, but his name wasn't on the list. And so I get there.
You're alone?
Yeah, I was by myself.
You take Mo next time.
No. There was no ticket for him. It was like invite only or whatever.
Oh,
and
dang.
so I go and I get there. My family it's my Elisara family. It was a very nice celebration. AJ, his mom is my sister cousin, Vera, who I grew up with, and really like her and I were truly sisters. We grew up together. We were raised in the same house. Her dad and my mom were siblings, and her dad passed away. And then my cousin Vera, 17 years ago, she passed away. She had cancer. And so her kids, like, they have a special place in my heart. And I am an honorable Elisara. I like to say that. But So it was just the Elisaras. It was, Ed and Tino and Winnie, the baby sister. She flew in from LA. Olonga is from here. And then Vitani, who we had as a guest when we were at FCC Free Radio. My niece Vitani, it's her brother AJ. And literally, it was the immediate family, like her mom's siblings, AJ and his wife and kids, Vitani and her 2 girls, and that was it. And so his dad got to pin his badge on him. And then we took a ton of pictures, and then we went to dinner at Buca de Beppo. Buca de Beppo.
The family size servings.
Oh my God, I didn't realize how big they're. We're like, oh yeah, I get pasta. We ordered some pasta dish, and we said, no, get 2. And then get 2 of that and 1 salad. The salad came out first in this huge,
like a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, and we were like,
everything's huge.
God. We're like, oh my God, is this the large? And she's like, oh yeah. And we go, oh my God, we ordered 2 of this pasta and 2 of this and 1 of this. So needless to say, there was a lot of pasta that went home with everybody.
It's like a poly thing. There's a whole bunch of to-go boxes going to cars at the end.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I mean, that was really the highlight of my week was AJ's graduation. So I was so happy, and he and I had been texting, and so his mom would be so proud of him. Of course, I was very loud because if his mom was there, she would be following and be the loudest one. You can't shut her up. So anyway, that was yesterday. So congratulations to the Tamu family. And then work. And then
that's a good song. Good artist.
Yeah, you love Rihanna. And that was it. Like, I think that was the highlight. That was Malia had her basketball tournament. No, her basketball banquet, award banquet. And she got MVP 3rd year in a row. And so that was exciting for her.
And she's a sophomore, so the's still a year to go.
She's a junior. She's a
junior. 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
There's still 1 year to go. She's MVP 3 times running. And next year's the big year, right? Next year's the turnout for the game.
2026 is her senior year. So we're going all out for her senior year. Everything will be at every game, or try to be. I will make it a point to take off and go to her home games, of course, and then her away games, if she's not playing at home, she's playing in Sacramento.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. And that's it.
In the hood. That's where y'all play.
That's it. Yeah. Did I talk about I went to San Diego? Was it last weekend?
We didn't talk about that.
I went to San Diego. It was Tomas' 1 year anniversary in heaven. And if you're Poly or Pacific Islander, 1 year celebration, which is, I have my thoughts on it, but I'll just keep it to myself. It's a 1 year anniversary. You celebrate someone being in heaven for 1 year. And my mom, she's missed
do it up.
She's missed you too much. So she got everybody matching. We had our Konginga, and then all the girls had Pulitasis, and then our immediate family. And we invited the church, and then we went to it's like the reveal of the stone, the 1 year. So normally you get the stone like right before the 1 year anniversary, and then it's like a reveal. And so she did that. And then Nellie flew in, my cousin, or our cousin flew in from Washington, and my Jordan girls, big shout out to my Jordan girls, because they helped make the carnation flower. I should have posted a picture, but it's it was huge of this. It's a cross with white flowers, and they drove from the Bay Area, drove to LA to the Flower Mart, picked up the carnations, drove to San Diego, helped create everything, and then drove back to the Bay Area because they had shit they needed to do. That is my Jordan girls. And so they did that. The stone is beautiful. I really should have uploaded pictures, but I didn't. And it was just really nice. Nice and but the food, the church provided the food, which is really, when I say church, is my Uncle Yeki and Auntie Lily and her family. And I'd have to say it was the best Samoan food that I've had in a long time. They have faspovi masima and cabbage, which was soft and tender and everything. Falifu kalo, and then they have falifu pikaki. Now, I don't like falifu pikaki. I don't really eat pikaki. It's mackerel in a can.
Mhm.
I don't really care for it. And Mo makes it for the girls. My girls are humble. They love pikaki with onions, blah, 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 blah. I don't eat it. I don't care for it because it comes out of a can. But Serona, who is Taupo Samoa, Kiki, her sister, Serona, is close with my mom. And Masi, he is related to the Masolis. So Sam and Flo were there. They flew in because, of course, Flo is my mom's favorite. And
I don't even know
Masi,
there's quote marks there. That's favorite.
yeah. And then that favor. But Masi and Serona is close with my mom, and her husband is Masi, who is a Masoli. So they were there. She made falifu pikaki. It was so freaking good. Like,
You liked it?
that's all I ate. I ate that
Damn.
and the taro and the potato salad that Bella made. Bella, if you're watching, girl, that was so good. Yeah. And then the next day, that's all everybody was talking about was the falifu pikaki. And so it was so freaking good. So freaking good. So yeah, big shout out to the food crew.
You get the food right, you get the kudos.
Yes, the food crew. It was really good. And then my cousin Lata, her girls did a couple of dances. And then of course Marcella, and our Marcella is so graceful. And so were Lata's girls. It was really nice. They did a great job. So big shout out to my cousin Lata and her daughters who performed. And then the church that my mom and Sama partner with, what is it? Terpulenga.
Mhm.
The ladies from the church performed. So it was Tu'u and her crew. And this lady Tu'u that goes to the church, her sister is actually a Moli. So my sister-in-law
Ah,
is her sister. So anyway, that it was very nice. We drove down Friday night and then drove back Sunday night
it's a lot of driving.
for all of us to be back at work on Monday, because we're trying to salvage our vacation time, because we have a cruise, a 5-day cruise that we'll be using vacation time on in November.
Uh-huh.
Because my mom is turning 80 in November and she wants to celebrate by going on a cruise, a 5-day cruise.
Not
I've
a
got to
3-day cruise.
Not a 3-day cruise. So that would be 2 nights, not a 4-day cruise where it would be 3 nights. It's like the whole 5 days. And we have to get to Long Beach. Let me just bitch real quick. We have to get to Long Beach, their dock, to get on this cruise for 5 days. I'm just saying. And then the following week is Thanksgiving, when everybody is usually off. But anyway. So
Sounds like you've thought this through a little bit,
yes,
how that's
I've
going to happen.
thoroughly thought this through. It'll just be me in a cabin, and then the rest of Mena is, she's already got her cabin with her cousins, Miley with her cousins, Evie and Lai, of course, Mac and Kea, and then I was supposed to room with Mo and Malia, but Malia's, I think I've been through this story. I just don't want to repeat it again. I'll get upset. So anyway, yeah, that was it. How was your weekend?
My highlight of the week was my cousin had to go to San Diego, and so she asked me to watch her dog. And as you know, I don't have a dog, and I love dogs, so I was like the whole week I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And really, I mean, I did a lot, like hung out with her, and we went to
And she loves
for
that.
walks and stuff, but a lot of it was just chill, like just hang out. Yeah, it was just good to just be around a dog and hang out. And we went for a ton of walks. I think that at one point, I think it was Saturday, she was pretty much done by as a fourth or fifth walk at the end of the night. I grabbed the leash and she was all happy to go to the door for the leash. Then as soon as we got out of your gate, she was like,
I'm done.
I don't think that was necessarily her favorite thing to do, but so I guess you guys have taken her to this walk that goes on top of the hill that overlooks everything.
Yeah.
I was just out driving. I got a cup of coffee one of the mornings and I was driving around and I'd gone out that road and I was like, oh, look at that path. So I stopped and I walked up. I didn't walk all the way to the top. I walked up a different place and I walked up a little bit. I'm like, man, I got to get Sunga. So the next day I took Sunga and I took her to the top of the hill and that thing's steep. So like at the bottom of the hill, I remember thinking, man, I wonder if she's going to be okay. Right. Because she gets tired, but it was early in the day. So by the time we got to the top of the hill, I was breathing loud enough that at one point she was in front of me. She literally stopped and turned around and looked at me. I think she was like, are you all right? Are you going to make it? Cause I was breathing. I was huffing, man. That felt good getting to the top. And then you could see everything like Fairfield, Sassoon, the freeway, the whole there, and cows everywhere. Made me think of when you and I had walked out in that cow field a long time ago and that cow was mooing. So you're walking in the middle of like there's cows and there's a sign that says you are among cattle, and don't sneak up on anything and don't try not to surprise people. So Sunga and I are coming down a trail and there's a fork in the trail headed back to the cars. And there's a couple that are walking and I see them. And now all the cows have moved right in the middle of the path. And I was like, oh, I'll just slow down and let them walk through. And they're going to, they'll clear them out. Because I'm a little concerned, Sunga, I have a dog. They don't, right? So the cows may get a little rattled around a dog. So I slowed down and then they're standing there talking. I think that they were waiting for me to go down the path and I was waiting for them to go down the path. The lady ended up, she left the trail. She went all the way around. Like she didn't want to walk through the cows. You could tell the guy was like, I'm a guy. I'm going to walk through these cows. So he walks through and there's a cow right on the path. And I could tell that's the one they were thinking like that one you got to worry about. Right. So he's walking past that cow, but past them is a mama and her calf right next to the trail. And I'm looking at it going, no, I'd be more worried about the mama and her calf than the other one. So he walks by the first one and kind of looks at it. And, the cow just looks at him. He goes by and he goes by within like a foot of that cow. And then I could tell he had relaxed. He walks further down the trail and gets near the mama cow. And I don't know what he was doing, but he slowed down. And I think she was okay. But when he started to slow down, mama cow didn't like that. She started mooing and shaking her head like back and forth. I think she was trying to scare him off. She did. Like he was not running, but he was moving pretty quickly down the path. I was busting up. So the good thing is they cleared them all out. By the time Sunga and I went through, they were all moved off the path. But I think that, with a dog, they stay clear. They know, that's a dog. Let's stay clear of that. I think when you're walking alone, it just reminded me of when you and I took a walk up a hill and there's cows there and these cows were mooing loud. Mama cow was calling a calf and Naki was busting up. She liked the sound.
I was dying laughing. It was fun. Yeah,
Do cows run?
Sunga totally misses you. She totally misses you. And she loves Uncle Carl. So thank you for watching her. I appreciate it. Our whole family appreciates when you watch her because we don't Leah has a it's like you and Leah when you weren't available and I think we were on a trip or something. Leah and Ty, Dr. Faleava, were able to watch her. And so Leah has a baby now and I don't want to get hair all over Luca. So
Yeah. So when I was leaving, I'm such a sucker. So she knew when I put on my shoes that we're headed out.
we're going for a walk. We're going for a walk.
I took the shoes and I'd walked around with my shoes and kind of hid them from her. And she looked over there, but I had them on the other side. And so I sat down on that chair by her dog bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like untying the shoes. And that was okay. That was acceptable to Sunga. She was okay with that. But then when I bent down and started putting them on, she like jumped off the couch, came over. And I think, so this is the first time she did this. This is when I'm getting ready to leave. I'd already packed up, put all my stuff out there. And this is my last time before I'm walking out the door. And she came over and started pawing at my hands when I was trying to tie my shoes. And I was like, yeah, I was trying to mess with her hair. And then she lays down on my feet, like just flopped down on top of my feet. I was like, oh, she knows. She knows it's time. And when I left, she followed me to the door. And then when I was trying to go take her for walks, I was trying to tell her to sit before we went out, right? So I would take the leash and I'd say, sit. She would never do it. She'd do it, but I'd have to harass her to get it done. This time when I'm leaving, she goes over there and she sits down immediately. Like, I'm a good girl. I was like, oh, you're breaking my heart. Walked out, locked the door, and then she's out. You know how she cries on the inside. I was like, I almost walked back in and sat down and waited for you guys because you guys were 8. I don't know how long hours you guys were on the road, but ended up being like, I don't know, 2 hours from when I was leaving. But yeah, great time. And I couldn't wait for you guys to get there so she'd be happy because when she was whining and crying, I was like, shut up.
Yeah. No, she was good. And she wasn't like she'll run around and when she's excited, but she was just happy to see it because she wasn't alone that long. She wasn't.
Yeah. Long, so. I'm a sucker. I turned on the TV. I found some
we do that too.
Nature documentary thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she ate her food. So I don't know what y'all been doing, but she went on strike. The first time I had her, she wouldn't eat for like almost 2 full days. No,
she eats her food. She eats her food. Yeah, she's a good girl now.
Oh, I also, thanks to whatever amazing pan that you have that I was making my eggs in, I was like, what magic is this pan? This pan is the best pan ever. I literally FaceTimed Nick and I was like, I don't know what pan Naki's got over here, but nothing sticks to it. Like,
oh, the beige one? Yeah, I got new frying pans.
Oh, yeah, it's like ceramic or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now, of course, Nick's buying some expensive pans thanks to my trip to your house, but that's an amazing pan. I was like, damn, this thing makes me want to.
And the handle is removable.
Yep.
So that you can use it. There's 2, but I don't know what happened to the second one. So that's our last handle. I don't know what happened.
Oh, there's 2 handles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I only saw the one, but the eggs. I know there's ads out there about non-stick this and that. This thing was like nothing.
It's non-stick. Yeah. Nothing sticks to it. I love it. And they're like, I probably bought them within the last 6 months. I'll post them in my stories, but also
I'm a believer.
Yes.
Because I was looking for a frying pan. You left a bunch of eggs there, and I was like, "Where's the pan? Where do they cook?" And I kept looking around, and I saw it a couple times, and I was like, "I don't know, maybe that's the thing." And I looked at it, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess I could cook eggs in that." Man, I was blown away by that.
It's the best, but totally, that's the best. I also got a new refrigerator. Oh, so good because my refrigerator is leaked. The one that the refrigerator came in after you left, but the one that it was leaking. This is just so sorry. That's how you know we're old. We're talking appliances, and I'm so happy that I got a new fridge.
It leaked. The old one leaked.
Yes,
because I stepped in I was walking by and I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought that because I had left the I had opened the refrigerator earlier, and I was like, did I leave the door open or something? So I'm
Yeah.
like looking around, and then that towel was down there, and I was like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't break it.
Yeah, no. And totally, I was due for a new fridge because the refrigerator was from the previous owner. We just inherited it. And then, so I'm so happy with my new fridge. So I'll pay off it's 12 months of free, no interest. So I've just got to pay it off within the next 12 months. And
Interest.
then no interest rate. And then I'll move on to my next appliance, which is the stove. We inherited the stove from the previous owners.
That's not
So
a bad. I mean, to me, it's gas stove or
Mhm.
nothing. Because
Yeah.
gas, you get heat right now. Like I see people like, if I had to go back to a regular stove, I'd be irritated because
Yeah.
it would take so long to heat up.
You have to wait for it to warm up. No. Gasless. So anyway,
Too much talk about appliances.
yes, it was so good that we appreciate you taking care of our baby while we went to San Diego.
So anytime you want me to watch a dog, I got the dog.
Yeah. No, grateful. Should we go into dang,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Has it been 30 minutes? No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
26.
no, we can go into community announcements, which I'm so grateful that we have stuff to talk about.
All right. I'll start. Giari Blooms. It's a lay workshop. It's next month, March 15th at 3 p.m. at the Grind Cafe in Vallejo.
Vallejo. I've never been there, so I'm
B-Town.
excited.
Grind Cafe, go check it out. Come join the fun. Limited seating, good vibes and eats. Early bird feast, $90 this week only. So that's going to sell out.
Yeah.
Get your tickets and go learn how to make some lays and save some money. How many lays do we make, right? That we pay for people to do. So go check it out. It is March 15th.
Yeah, I usually make my own lays, but I would definitely go there March 15th at 3 p.m. I just might do that. So there you go. Sister to Sister. It's the third annual San Mateo County Sister to Sister Embracing Our Children, or Embracing Our Journey, for middle school and high school Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and Asian American girls. That is happening at 477 Lincoln Circle in Millbrae on March 20th. Follow Essence of Mana to register.
Let's see. Poly Step Fest is happening March 28th and 29th. It's so big they couldn't get it into one day. It's 2 days in the Salt Lake City area in West Valley. That's where the Polys are at. You'll be stepping with the Fa's. Tony, Lonnie, and Layla Fa will be leading your journey through extreme hip-hop step, but with Polynesian flavor that they've become famous for. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now. Go to their IG page or to polystepfest.org for more details.
Yay. 4th Annual Bay Area Pie Fest Pacifica STEM Fair is happening. Is it STEAM or STEM? Hold on a second.
They added the A this year, and I'm not sure what it's for, but that's intentional.
STEAM Fair is happening April 12th at the San Mateo Event Center from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's a whole different party if it was at 1 a.m.
It's going to have a whole different feel.
1 p.m. to 5 p.m. All ages are welcome, and there will be cultural performances, hand-on activities, STEM resources, raffle prizes, free lunch. Register at We Are Pie Fest on Instagram, and we will be your MCs.
We'll be the MCs for the day. We're our third time through, I think, with them.
Yes.
The Pacifica Mental Health Conference, which is put on by Pacifica by Design. This is a PBD Presents event. It's a free mental health conference hosted by the Pacific Islander mental health clinicians from around the country, happening May 23rd from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Spring Hill Suites in West Sacramento. Register at the tinyurl.com/MHPIC2025. And we have that on our social media.
Luminati Education Gift. It's happening now. Apply. The 16th annual Lumini Education Gift offers money and gift cards to support your school journey and cash prizes for your mixed media art submission. Don't wait. This is your chance to showcase your talent or get support that you need for school. Click the link in Someone Solutions bio to apply.
There's a call for Pacific Islander couples for a research study focused on the unique experience and perspective of Pacific Islander couples. Both partners must identify as Pacific Islander, ages 25 to 65, share your experience in a confidential setting, and participate in 2 virtual interviews. Compensation is provided for your time. To participate, email ymanupuna@student.chaminade.edu.
So awesome. So awesome.
For the PI couples. Ooh, what's that, Naki? What you got on the screen right now?
That is PBD's 2025 for 25. It's our campaign 2025 for 25 to help us continue uplifting Pacifica voices through media, health, and storytelling initiatives. We are calling on 2,025 people to donate $25 by the end of 2025 to support PBD, our FICA podcast, highlighting Pacifica voices, businesses, and real conversations on culture, identity, and health. We also have Pacifica Focus Media Workshop, empowering youth with photography, videography, and storytelling skills. Other storytelling initiatives that amplify our community's stories. Scan the QR code. And
when you think about what we do, a lot of it is what I'll call pay to play, right? So we've had a few sponsored FICA shows. So we had Koviki Talk. Those were sponsored shows. Those were shows that we had funding for. The FICA podcast, since 2017 or 2018, everything is like, we're the ones that are putting it out, and it's worth it. It's worth it for us to do it because we get to showcase all the amazing people that we do, and the kind of thing where we say, role models coming Brown.
Yes.
And we do. We're going to continue to do that, but a lot of the the pieces that come together is at the point now where we're like, hey, we didn't do a fundraiser. We may do clothing, we may do some other things as well, but we wanted to put it out there. We're looking for 2,025 people for a donation of $25. We're off to a great start. And we're going to say thank you. Plan to say thank you to every person that donates. So I'll go ahead and start. And this is just out of the gate. Joe Tenadora from Rhythmic Catalyst, thank you. To Poe Drake, thank you. Jenny Chen, name from the past, so one of our people that we've worked with in the past.
TDW.
Tuatongaloa, Linda Masoli, Epi Almavai, Armari Monamea, Darren Tufono, Shirley Alapati, and Alina Fa'aola. Those are the people that I'm thanking this week.
Yeah, Dr. Tai Fatleava, Lynn Bilisoma, Karasoma La'a, George Tafte'e, and Tone Ba'i, Anthony Ba'i, so far have donated to our 2025 for 25. We're so grateful for all these donations that people have given and donated. And within the first couple of days, we've raised over $500. So thank you so much for our donation. I mean, we've had funding cuts that have affected, everyone, all the nonprofit organizations across the Bay Area, across everywhere. So we're grateful and just so grateful for the people that have donated. Give or don't give, it's up to you. But we're looking for 2,025 people to donate $25. If you cannot donate, we freaking understand. Like, everyone's getting hit. And so we appreciate it if you would share the flyer or tell a friend or phone a friend or But yeah, it means a lot to us. I mean, we're going to do what we're going to do, but the funding helps.
Yeah, there's, I mean, like things that a lot of people don't think of. Just going to an event, right? That's the gas, the food, the
Mhm.
whatever it is, the time, right? And it's not. I'm not saying that we don't love doing it. We love doing it,
Right.
and we're going to continue to do it. So it's not
Yeah.
like this is a, you know, last call for help before something bad happens. But it is. It's just a reach out to the community. Donate if you can. Do not donate
Yes.
$25 if you don't have the $25 to donate. We do not want to become a bill. That's exactly the
Thank
opposite of what we want to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is going to be a piece each week as we go. Tell a friend, and share through your social media if you find it in your heart to do that.
Yay. And thank you, Manners, for the flyer.
Thank you, Minna.
Um, yeah, so that is that. I was talking to someone who has bought a home, and the interest rates, I was talking about interest rates because how lucky are we that we refied during the pandemic, and the interest rate, we were talking, I'm like, what is the interest rate now? So if you are locked in with a 30-year fixed mortgage, the interest rate is 6.8%. And to me, that's just for the fixed rate, right? It's 6.80. And then a jumbo mortgage rate is 7.05%. The
They'll probably
interest rate,
continue to go up
it,
too. But
yeah.
I think that for those of you that have bought a house or had a big loan in
Mhm.
the last 10 years, like that's crazy high. It was zero. There was points where it was 1 point something, but
No, I
that's
miss
more of
that.
a
Yeah.
today thing, right? So you get back in the 70s and 80s, it was 7% was like the low in the 70s. There were times it was 10-15%,
That's high.
right? So it's an odd thing to see for, people that have maybe bought a house 10 years ago or something, but um, those are normal rates for the
Mhm.
most part, but seem high to us.
Right, right, right. So a lot of crazy shit happening, like gas is expensive. So gas I want to say, used to be like two something. And then it was like, I want to say maybe 5 years ago.
It went
Maybe?
from somewhere in the threes to like 550 in like a year. Like it went from the high twos, low threes was like three was high. You're like, oh my gosh, it's $3. And then
Yes.
it went crazy to a point in California, it was almost $6 a gallon at one point.
Right.
Crazy
And
high.
so it's like it's so high. And I think and now it's like it's five something. So it's pretty expensive to fill up your tank these days. And then interest rates. So you said you literally have to have $1 million to retire now, right? Like,
100%. So what you need to retire today is crazy high because of one, the inflation, right?
right.
So if you got I don't know, if you got a 3 or 4% raise at your job
Mhm.
2 years ago, you didn't get a raise.
Yeah.
That is because inflation was 3-4%, right? And that when you retire, you're not going to earn more, right? You're going to be on a fixed income. So inflation is just going to erode away at your buying power. That money
Right.
as you get older is going to get less and less. And yeah, it's a crazy thing where you have $1 million now, and that might not be enough to retire with.
Yeah. And then today is Blackout Friday. It's
So what is that? How does that work? Just big corporations? Is that what they're
big
saying?
corporations, like they're asking you to not today. Don't shop at Walmart, don't shop at Target, don't eat at McDonald's, like don't eat at like big corporations. And if
Shop
you have
local,
to
shop small.
yeah, shop local. And I've seen a lot of people on TikTok, like a Walmart worker, she got to work and she videotaped at work, and I don't even know where she was at, but Walmart was empty. I think Target has also they've lost money recently because people are boycotting them because of the DEI thing.
It
And
doesn't. So because I work in retail, right? Especially like when we used to do this, you remember when we used to do that with gas, right? Don't buy gas today. We're not going to buy gas today. But does it, right? So I would wonder what the sales are the next 2 days, right? So everybody doesn't buy something today. Does it really hurt the corporations? I think it's a good message to send, right? How much power does the public have? But like gasoline, when we don't buy gas for one day, does it really mean that we drove less in that week?
yeah. Well,
right?
like people started boycotting Starbucks, right?
Mhm.
For multiple reasons, but they've cut their menu down because they can't afford to have 50 million different drinks. They've shut down. I think they've closed a lot of stores, like
Yeah.
most retail places, but Starbucks is, and it's because, politics and what you believe in and stuff, like a lot of that has affected the way people, like have shop, like Coca-Cola and now Pepsi. It's just
That
crazy.
didn't used to be a thing though. Like when
Mhm.
we were young, you didn't hear oh, we don't like this.
Mhm.
So there's a
We're not
massive
shopping there.
stop on the. I mean, I remember there were some things about gas. There was the, like anti-war kind of things, but
Mhm.
and there was, some of the oil because of the way that, like the oil Exxon Valdez, there was an oil
Mhm.
spill or something, but there wasn't a thing like there is now where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this company said this, and social media
Oh, well,
blows up, and all of a sudden millions of people stop shopping there for a day. Like that wasn't a
but
thing.
even if you work for a company and you say something bad or just are caught being a bad person, like that company can fire you
Mhm.
or they get backlash because you worked at the person who said or did something negative, the company gets hit for it and then that person gets fired. Like you can't like you just can't be yourself, your real self, like, oh, I have a work persona and then there's me, you know what I mean? They
Right.
can't, like, you just
Yeah.
you
You
have
might
to.
want to try to keep them separate, but social media,
Won't
sometimes
let
you
you.
can't keep it
Yeah,
separate. Yeah. If
won't
you have a
let you.
and it doesn't even actually, if you don't even need social media, the person filming you, if they got social media,
Social media. Yeah.
you could be out there. I saw that today. I went to my oncologist today.
Mm.
And when I walked up, I I was early. So I wanted to sit down on a bench. And when I
Mm.
sat down on the bench outside, this Asian lady was chasing this security guard with
Uh,
her phone. And
oh,
she was
geez.
like, you're mean, you're mean. And I was like,
Oh,
what the
God.
heck? And the guy was like, get away from me, lady. And he went inside. She followed him inside. And then it turned out that she was sleeping on the bench, and he asked her if she was waiting for a ride or what she was doing there. And
Mm.
she didn't have any shoes. I don't think she was right in the head, but that I could tell that was like the guy did not want to get filmed.
Mhm.
Like she was literally chasing him around the
Yeah.
parking lot with her phone. And he was like, trying to, but that's that thing, right? Like where's that video going to end up? It may be nothing or it may go viral in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I think it is the day and time now that what you do outside of work affects your job. Like all the time I see, let's find this person who was rude to so and so.
That happened in a was it the Super Bowl? There was an Eagles fan. It was at an Eagles game,
Mm.
and this guy was I don't yeah, he got into it with this lady and he
Oh,
said something or did something, I don't remember what it was, but he got fired. Like
yeah.
and it was,
He was rude to her or something
he
like
was
that.
he was rude. Like, but
Mhm.
should you how many times have people been drunk at a game and said something you shouldn't have said or something
Yeah.
and then find out, man, I wasn't even at work. I had nothing to do with work. I wasn't wearing
Right.
their logo or anything, and I'm fired.
Yeah. But now you sign this thing that when you work, that you know, you don't, I know you can't say where you work, or I don't know, but you, what is that? Hello, you're in HR. What do you,
So
ethics or something where you just can't, I don't know.
yeah, probably. So you're a representative of, you can't talk about the company you work with.
Mm.
This was like 20 years ago. I remember being in Salt Lake with my brother, and we were in a bar, and he goes, "Oh, I'll be right back," and he just left, and then he came back in. He had a different shirt on, and he he was a driver, and
Oh,
he
he
was
had
like,
his
"I
company
forgot
shirt.
that I can't be in a bar with my shirt on,"
Right,
and I was like, "Damn." Like, that's good you remember that, but how many
right,
people might not, and
right.
I'm sure that he signed something in agreement that he wasn't
Yeah.
gonna, do that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
different time.
way different time. And so, you know, I just don't like, I mean, I don't like to say where I work just because I'm just showing up my work. Shit. Not that that's gonna happen, but I also don't want, I just I'm I used to be really like talk about everything, and now I just because I'm old now, and if I have problems, I talk to the people that I'm close with, and they listen to me bitch and complain. Social
Yeah,
media
but
has
we
too
always
many
say this. We always say this, right? Aren't you glad there were no cameras around when we were young?
So glad. I'm so glad. And now you
Mhm.
just can't get away from cameras. You can't get away from social media. So, you know,
Sometimes I get like, where there's video of, like if you're a kid and you play sports, there's all kinds of video of you, right?
yeah.
But sometimes like, man, it would have been nice to, see a party that we were at in the 90s or 80s or whatever.
Hmm.
And I think you did that with your wedding video, right? When
Yeah.
you saw old video of a long time ago. And
Mhm.
then as I think, man, I wish there were more, then I think about it, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm
I'll take
glad
a
there
trade
wasn't
off rather than have all the bad things you do be immortalized forever.
forever, forever and ever and ever. And once it hits the internet, it's over.
Well,
It
and it's
could
there
go
forever,
viral.
right?
Oh,
So
it's
it could
there
be,
forever.
it could do nothing, right? But then you become famous 10 years from now, then the video gets drug up,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
you see that with kids that get drafted in the NFL or NBA, and then they're like, oh, look at this tweet you did. And I look at it and I'm like, the kid was 15. Like,
Yeah.
well, hold that against him when he was 15 years old.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They do. I mean, you get crazy stuff about that. Be careful what you X or tweet or whatever.
Yeah. So that, I mean, we already knew we live in a crazy world.
True that.
True that.
Definitely. We live in a crazy world where, there's whole entire government departments that are just packing up it's a crazy things happen now that just you look at it and you go, I don't know that happened. I mean, maybe it happened when we were younger and we never heard about it, but
Mhm.
like things are happening today that just weren't happening before.
Yeah. I don't understand this world. And I can't wait for the next 4 years to be over so we can maybe see some light at the end of the road. Who knows?
Well, so this is kind of the rob Peter to pay Paul thing. We got bumpy things to go through, but I mean, hopefully the gas prices and the inflation and all those things, like we're kind of like taking it on the chin over here. Well, we should be
Mhm.
getting some good things on the other end, right? So as we go through some of this craziness, I'm thinking, well, hopefully the inflation does get fixed. Hopefully the price of eggs does
Go,
come
yeah,
down. Like all the all the odd stuff that's supposed to get fixed. I hope it gets fixed because we're definitely going through the bumpy part of it.
definitely.
Paying the
Definitely.
price. We got to get the goods.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is our show. We've just been we literally FICA'd for um, almost an hour. Do you have anything else you'd like to bring up before we get the hell out of here?
No, everybody have a good weekend.
Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in this morning. And we will catch you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.